Okay, what's up, YouTube? It's Victor for Vendetta 215. I'm just coming up here with a couple tech updates and just to talk about certain cards. This card is not a tech. This is actually just a card I like to converse about, and that card is Silent Warning. Yeah, it's been around for a while. Everyone's been using it. Unless you run Decree, then every deck has this. It's a really good card, but I don't know if you noticed, but it's been coming in threes. If you know Claudio, he was at the Irish Open, or whatever it's called, and he came in second, I believe. But yeah, he ran 3 Silent Warnings, and I think with the new upcoming Six Samurai decks coming up, I think it's a very good idea to run this card in threes, unless you run Black Wings, because Black Wings, they have, you know, the Icarus attacks and whatnot. And yeah, but if you're not running Black Wings, I suggest run 3 of these, because it's, you know, really good. Not because you could use all 3, but it's because if you draw it first and you go first and they're running 6 Samurais, you have a way better chance of winning. So I suggest that. The next card coming up is obvious. It's been probably a card for like 5 years. It's probably been out on probably like 7 years. It's been out. And it's been getting teched sometimes, but it hasn't reached the top tables quite yet, and that's Nobleman Crossout. I went to a regional about a month ago, and I was Nobleman of Crossout 4 times in the first game of the duel. Yeah, so like they were maining it, and it kind of sucks, you know. But again, back to Claudio's build, he didn't run no Rykos in his deck, and it ran pretty well without Rykos. And if he won it, he could have ran an Nobleman of Crossout without it actually affecting him. I think he should have did that, but that's just me. It's a really good card. It's great. It stops like everything. They set their Emmers, they set their Dark Souls, they set their Rykos, they set their Spies, everything. Yeah, like usually it's a set monster. Even they set Sangan sometimes. They'll set their Spore. They'll just set something. Even a Dandelion. And with Free Book of Moons, you know, being stable, I don't see why one Nobleman would hurt in most decks. And I have another card. It was in one of my deck. It was in my deck profile, and I just wanted to talk more in depth about it. Dark Bribe, great card. It's getting really underlooked this format. People always thought about running it, you know, like burn. It always had to be like in a burn deck or something, but that's not the case. Everyone just jumped on 7 tools for some reason to stop a trap card, but this stops any trap card or spell card, and you could always afford it. Like, how many times have you even been Dark Hold and you're like, wow, I wish it was like a Dark Bribe or something, and it stops you from having to waste your Solemn, you know? It stops you from wasting your Solemn Judgment on something stupid, you know? It's just so much better. Like, who wants to Solemn with Dark Hole? Who'd rather hold that Solemn for something else? Why, you could just Dark Bribe it. It's such a great card. It should be ran in most decks, because, you know, like even with Titanial, you get that big field up, and you're like, yeah, and you have your Decree up, you're like, yeah, that's cool. But then you use the non-trap version, and so I like the you know, the trap version. I mean, my fault. I like the trap version better, because it's better than, you know, 3 Decrees, because you could run this. And how mad do you get when you have a Decree up and a Titanium up and are just like, okay, Dark Hole, and that's like their only out, and it sucks really bad. But if you have Dark Bribe, you can just stop it, and one card, like, it stops the best cards in the game. You know? Just run it. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. It's so much better than 7 tools. And the last card, this card I was told by a friend of mine, Steve Harris. I don't know if he'll want me to. I don't think he'll get mad at me for telling about it, because it's been a while since he ran it, you know, and it's still a really good card. And I'm pretty sure it's not a big deal. It's not like a big top secret or anything. But I'm going to talk about it. And the card is Spell Shield, Type 8. If you don't know what it does, its effect is select and activate one of these effects. You can either negate the activation and effect of a spell card that targets one monster on the field and destroy that one spell card, or send one spell card from your hand to the graveyard to negate the activation and the effect of a spell card and destroy it. Now, this card's really good. If you don't main deck it, you could always side deck it. Side decking this card is great because if you run Gravekeepers or something, they're like noblemen. You're like, no, free. You shop it for free. You don't have to pay anything. And like, let's say they're running the Decree version and they're trying to get a +1 off you. They can't even get the +1 because it's a counter trap. This card's so good. It stops Book of Moon too. So like, you bring out your debris or whatever. You're like debris, and they're like, oh, Book of Moon, your debris. You're like, no, I have spell shield. The card's so good. It stops. It even stops Dark Hole if you want to discard a card. It stops every spell card in the game. And if you gotta think about it, some of the strongest cards in the game right now are spell cards. The reason why I like Dark Bribe over some tools because it stops spell cards too. But it could also stop a trap if you need it to. Yeah, I can't stress it enough how good this card is. It stops like everything. You're like, oh, what? You have a big field? Okay. How many times have you drawn like 2 Book of Moons or something and you were just like, wow, I only need one of these right now. I'd rather be able to stop a Dark Hole. And it stops Dark Hole. It stops Monster Reborn. You know, it's just a really good card. I suggest that you give it a try. If you don't like it, it may not be for you. But if you run Gravekeepers, I definitely say put it in the side deck because that Nobleman is crucial. And when they flip it, when they play Nobleman, you just say Spell Shield, and it's free. You don't have to run on my body and pay 1,500. Yeah, you know, it's just really good card. So yeah, that's really it. If you have any questions or anything, just email me. Well, not email me. Message me, because I'm gonna start doing rulings. You know, some people are getting confused with rulings, so I'm gonna try to get that on board. You know, like after I get so many ruling questions about rulings, I'll post them up and I'll answer them. So yeah, subscribe, and yeah, go hard.